Hey guys, this is Alex C with firearmblog.com. Today I've got my friend Patrick, who you've seen in a lot of my past videos. Say hi, Patrick.
What's going on, guys?
And today we've got 5 guns that are cool, but pointless. Or, well, at least what we consider pointless. That doesn't mean they're bad guns. They work fine, they're cool, and we've shot them, we like them.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to kind of give our opinion on maybe what they could be used for and our experiences with them. So we'll go from right to left here, or our right to left. We'll start with a semi-automatic Uzi SBR. The Uzi's famous. It's designed in, was designed in Israel. This is a closed bolt version. Fully automatic versions are open bolt. You can see Patrick pull the bolt back. I mean, you really do have to be a bear to wrestle with that semi-automatic bolt. They're tight. Patrick, I mean, how heavy is the thing?
I'd say it's probably a good 9 pounds.
So a 9-pound, yeah, it's a 9-pound semi-automatic carbine that's got kind of crummy sights on it.
The sights really are pretty terrible. I mean, the one time we did take this out and shot it, it really wasn't that much fun.
Right, but at least with a fully automatic version, you can compensate for poor sights with a lot more lead going down range. You know, it does look cool though. It is fun. I mean, it's got its, you know, appeal. I can see they're not very expensive. I think I paid $700 for it a while back. Plus the $200 tax stamp, and then I had the barrel cut, which was, I think, $60 or something. So I'm not too deep in the gun. It looks cool in the safe. Everyone recognizes it. But again, I wouldn't hunt with it. I wouldn't use it as a home defense gun for a number of reasons. Patrick, I mean, what do you think?
I think the only place for this is just a blast at the range. There's really not any other real good use for a semi-auto Uzi.
Right. But there's nothing wrong with having a gun that's just a blast at the range.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah. So anyways, that's the Uzi. It is what it is. I'm sure a lot of you guys may have experience with them, may even own them. I would say give one a try. They're a tremendous amount of fun, but again, questionable usage on these guns. So next up, we have a gun that I tested for the blog a long time ago, and I recently actually bought one. This is a Chiappa T model. They call it the T model, I can only assume because Arnold Schwarzenegger used one in Terminator 2, which is a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll all agree. If you remember, he flipped it when he was on the motorcycle, which I probably wouldn't recommend because it doesn't have an enlarged lever loop, which you really need if you're going to do that. However, the 1887s are really cool. They were designed by John Browning. The action is really interesting. Even when we were fiddling with it today, Patrick opened it up and kind of gave his seal of approval as far as the way you load it, the way it handles.
You just feel like a badass whenever you're loading it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like you're in an action movie.
And then shooting, it's a lot of fun. You can shoot it from the hip. There's really not much of a point in aiming it. It does have a bead and a groove. I've shot slugs at probably 30 yards and landed them on silhouettes with no problem, but again, as the theme of this video is guns that don't have a lot of usage, I would have trouble finding a legitimate usage for this gun aside from maybe home defense or throwing in your hunting vehicle as...
Yeah, if you had some hogs caught in a trap or something, this would be a great gun to go ahead and, you know, pull out of your hunting vehicle.
Yeah,
and dispatch them.
Or, you know, if you had a mount on top of your side-by-side, it might be a good thing to grab. But then again, a full-size 12-gauge mounted in a gun rack would be a better
I think
option.
I'd rather have an 18-inch pump gun in that case.
But I think they designed this with nothing but fun in mind. I mean, it is called the T model, for God's sake. So it's not like they were trying to sell them as a hunting shotgun or anything. What's cool though is it's not an NFA shotgun. You can buy this over the counter as a shotgun. It's got an 18.5 inch barrel. It meets the ATF minimum length requirement, and it's a cash and carry gun. So we'll do a video on this gun coming up. It's actually it's fun enough that I'd really like to feature it, and I'm sure Patrick, you're probably looking forward to it.
Oh, absolutely,
as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's a cool gun. I look forward to doing a full review for you guys. And on to the next one. We have actually done a review on this together before. I did it in my Odd Gun series that I used to be a little more active in. I'm sure you recognize this. It's a copy of the full auto P90. This is a PS90. I really like that it's ambidextrous. You can show them how to charge the gun.
Yep.
If you're a lefty or a righty, it doesn't matter. It's got that disc selector. Recently, one of my favorite YouTube channels just did a cool review on this gun, Carnot. If you're not familiar with Carnot, go ahead and punch that into YouTube. It's really funny. The guy runs, his name's Dugan Ashley. And that's one of my favorite YouTube
Yeah,
channels.
no, I think maybe the LMG special might be one of the best gun videos on YouTube.
Sure. By the way, Dugan, if you're watching this, thanks for doing what you're doing. We appreciate that, and I think I speak for most of the gun community.
Yeah, but, absolutely.
Anyways, back to the PS90. It's a great gun to shoot. I really enjoy shooting it. We both agreed that it's a lot of fun. This particular example is SBR'd. I just did that because I think the long barrel just looks...
It's ridiculous.
It's just goofy looking. I put a great optic on there. It's decent as far as accuracy with the chopped barrel at 25 yards. I probably grouped in an inch, which is acceptable for PDW.
Yeah, I mean, it's respectable.
However, the ammo's expensive. It's hard to find.
Actually, it's gotten a little bit cheaper, I think.
Has it?
I think it's right around 35 cents a round, something like that.
Well, that's actually not that bad anymore. I remember for a while it was very hard to find, and it was, well, FN was the only people that were making it. I think now American Eagle's gotten into the game.
Yeah, they have. They're the ones I found right around 35 cents a round, and I mean that's right around 45 ACP prices.
So that makes it a more acceptable gun to buy as a plinker, and the prices have come down on these a lot. They used to be, I mean, I used to see them for $1,700, and now...
Yeah, I want to say in Dugan Ashley's video, he kind of let out that he paid right around $800, $900 for the one that he was running with the longer barrel.
And for $800 or $900, as far as if you just want a range toy, to me that's not a bad deal. I'm sure, like I said, also with the T series, you could probably find a use for this, a very niche use for varmint dispatch or.
Well, I'll be honest. I would rely on one of these for home defense. I think it's a great gun for that.
Yeah, it's short maneuverable. The recoil is low. The only problem is I've always been more. Maybe I'm just overly cautious, but using an NFA weapon for home defense could put you in front of a grand jury and show that maybe you're militant or that you were out to get someone.
That is a valid point.
I wouldn't expect that to happen here in Texas.
No, not even a little bit.
Yeah, not even a little bit. But for some of you guys, maybe living in less gun-friendly states or something, that might be an issue.
Yeah, but my thought process behind the home defense thing is, yeah, I've got a wife, and this would be great to hand Brittany should somebody break in. It's light, it's easily shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's accurate, and it doesn't. Dugan did a great over penetration test.
That was cool. He really did a good job.
Yeah, and with all those pieces, it would make a pretty decent gun to go ahead and hide behind the bed before somebody comes down the hall.
Sure. That being said, the theme of this video is guns that are fun but pointless. I would still prefer some other firearms.
I agree. Yeah.
But, it doesn't mean that this is a bad gun. As a matter of fact, I really like this gun a lot. It's awesome. It's fun. It has all the characteristics that bring a tremendous smile to your face when you're shooting it. But, there's just something that's always better for the job, with one exception, of course, that you mentioned earlier that completely jumped my mind.
What's that?
That was if this had a selector switch on.
Oh, yes, absolutely. If this was a full auto gun, it would be so much more useful.
Yeah, I'd use it for hogs and I'd use it for coyotes. I just don't feel comfortable using this small of a round in a hog. I've shot a hog in the head with a 45 ACP and it didn't kill the hog. I mean, the hogs are mean little critters.
They are.
And while the 5.7 has some good characteristics, it's really not great for nature's tanks out here in Texas. But anyways, enough with the PS90. We all love the PS90. It's great. Cool gun. But on to the next one here.
I think you got a ranch hand over there, don't you?
I do have a ranch hand. I traded into this gun because I just kind of thought, I grew up watching the Steve McQueen show, The Rifleman, and they called them mare's legs. Back then, that's what I heard him called growing up. And he was always doing the flip thing. I think that might be where that whole deal originated. But the ranch hand is cool. This one's in 45 Colt. They do make them in, I believe, 357, 38 as well.
Yes, they do.
But the 45 Colt version is just cool because I like that it kind of harkens back to the days of the Old West. Also, we have a friend who casts bullets, and he'll cast all day for us on this. Thanks, CJ, if you're watching this video. But it's a lever action without a stock, and it's got a short barrel, so you lose a lot of terminal velocity. And you can't shoulder it. I mean, I don't want to shoulder it like Sig Brace style and get the ATF on me, but that's just not
I don't even like the idea of that. I think it'd be kind of painful, to be honest.
Yes. That being said, we've shot this, and it's awesome. It's cool to shoot. It's fun to try and do the flip. I wouldn't recommend trying to do the flip thingy while you're shooting because you could shoot yourself, but I've admittedly practiced it unloaded in a room with carpet, and you can do it, and it's fun. And it's a really fun gun to shoot. Ammo's cheap if you cast. You know, it's cool in a compact package. A lot of people look at it. You can shoot it at ranges, and it's surprisingly accurate because the sights are, you know, decent.
Yeah, I mean, they're your standard lever gun sights.
Sure. And again, lever actions are just fun. I really like lever actions. I grew up shooting lever actions. And when I saw they were coming out, I knew that I'd be getting one eventually. And sure enough, one came to me one day for a great deal, and it's made its way into the collection. But then again, back to the theme of the video, why would I not use a full-size lever action to go?
Yeah, it's there's really no practical use for this gun. I mean, I thought about it long and hard whenever Alex got this in his collection, and I was like, well, maybe if you put a full-size stock on it, SBR'd it, maybe it'd be a good gun. And then I thought a little bit more about it, and I was like, why would I do that when, you know, a lever action really isn't that big of a gun?
Yeah. But SBR'd, it would look cool.
It would look amazing. Yeah. I mean, and it would be a great fun. It'd be great fun out at the range. And I thought about it a little bit more. I was like, well, maybe with a suppressor. And then I realized that they were kind enough to not give us enough room.
It would be
to go ahead and thread it.
You could do it, but it'd be a pain. You'd have
it'd be so much work.
Put it on the lathe, put that in, cut that down a little bit, and then pull the barrel.
I just don't know if the payoff would be worth it.
The payoff probably wouldn't be worth it. But you know, I'm sure some people have done it, and I'm sure it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you're willing to put in the work, I think it'd be a great idea.
Oh yeah, subsonic 230 grain, you know, cast light projectiles.
I think they're 250 or something like that.
Bigger,
yeah,
sure.
I mean, yeah, it'd be outstanding.
But anyways, yeah, so fun but pointless, awesome. And they're relatively inexpensive. I think new they're about $500 or $450. So fun blaster, especially if you watched the Rifleman growing up. All right, anyways, last, and I think we can agree probably
it's definitely the least.
That's going to be the Calico right here. A lot of them are called Liberties. This is pre-Liberty. This is the Calico M900. It's roller delayed blowback like an MP5, which is kind of interesting. But this fits so well with the theme of this video.
It's utterly pointless.
It is pointless. It holds, well, you can show them the magazine here. This is the small magazine, by the way. This is the 50-round magazine. That's the low-capacity Calico magazine.
So, I mean,
you can see.
They actually made a pistol variant of this. I mean, this made sense on the pistol variant.
They made a pistol variant. And then they also, of course, have the 100-round drum magazine. Also, another Achilles heel of the system is the sights are located on the magazine. So every time you remove the magazine, potentially you have a shift in your sights.
We've never shot this for accuracy, so I don't know how true, how.
I can assure you, it's horrible. I mean, it's very bad. Also, another thing, if you want to shoot and load this, you have to wind this 23 times. It says 23 on the magazine, and you have to show them how to wind it. It's just like a freaking wind-up toy. But anyways, when you store it, you actually release the tension by pressing this button on the back. There's a little clutch. Sometimes it's a little stubborn.
If it works.
If it releases. Even that doesn't work on Calico sometimes. But it's fun when you can get a whole magazine to run through it. However, that really doesn't happen very often. The 50-round will go okay.
Yeah.
The 100 is hopeless.
I think we've taken it out, 3 or 4 times, something like that. Yeah. Maybe a little more than that. Sure. But I don't think I've ever seen this mag run flawlessly.
No. But there are full auto versions, and there's videos of them where they are running right, and it's cool because you can see the bullets or the rounds spiral through the mag. Which
I'm going to be honest, cool. I'd love to know what kind of witchcraft they performed on this gun to get it to run. But
there's probably a rabbi blessing it involved, and then other clergymen. But I don't know. It would be hard to get one of these to run right. It seems like, because I've seen lots of them, and I've never seen one actually do what it's supposed to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, we were talking about it earlier, and the concept's great.
It's really cool.
If it worked, it'd be maybe useful. Sort of.
If you had a short barrel, if you had the 50-round magazine, I mean, it's reasonably pointable and it handles okay with the Kelly grip on the front.
I mean, I think even if the 100-round mag works in full auto with a shortened barrel, it'd be great for your 80s action movie type entries.
It was great for the 80s action movie.
Oh yeah.
They had that market on lockdown. But other than that, it fits so well within this scope of this video. It's so pointless, but when it works, it just brings a smile to your face when you're pulling that trigger 100 times, watching the dirt fly. As long as you don't mind wasting, 100 rounds of 9mm, which has gone up in price from, what it used to be to what it is now.
Yeah, I think it's like $15 a box at this point, or $1.50.
That's considered a good price.
Yeah,
unfortunately. But with steel case tool ammo, you don't feel as bad, but still, it really is a pointless gun. I wouldn't use it for home defense. I certainly wouldn't use it for hunting. But I would use it to bring a smile to my face, and that's
I mean, unfortunately, like we said earlier, sometimes those smiles are a little bit interrupted by the frowns caused by the malfunctions.
By the malfunctions, yeah, you'll be saying bad words and cursing the gun. But anyways, that's our video on guns, 5 guns that are pointless but fun. And this is Alex C with FirearmBlog.com. Thanks for watching TFB TV. Also, Patrick, thanks for giving us a hand with this video.
It's my pleasure. You know, I'd like you guys to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We got some great stuff coming up, and stay tuned.
Let us know if there's anything else you want to see us test here, and we'll try and make that happen.